So I want to first talk about what we're doing as a council and kind of give you the overall as what we view to be affectionately, I've kind of come to call it the Oldsmar plan, but it's a collective work of effort. I will tell you that there is a lot of people working very hard on us being prepared. It's a collaborative effort with our staff, our city manager, our assistant city manager, our city clerk, the council members. You know, we are working hard, and I just have to recognize the hard work put in by our staff, and you'll understand as I go along. The overall plan considers really three main phases, okay? And phase one is in the area of prevention, containment, and essentials. Phase two is sustaining resources. And phase three, which is very important, is recovery when this event passes, which it will. So let me first talk about phase one so everybody can be updated. And I must say, things move very fast around here, as you all are aware from the news reports. But this city is well plugged into what's happening. You know, the communications pretty much goes like this. In the morning, the White House communicates with the governors. The governor at 11 o'clock communicates with the counties, all on a conference call together. At 1 o'clock, the cities communicate with the counties, right? So we've got from the White House to the local level in one day, in a very short period of time. And I will tell you, I have been just amazed at how well the communications and how many people are working on this collectively, which I think should really be recognized. So let me talk about phase one, prevention, containment, and essentials. So phase one includes the executive orders that have been issued to prevent crowds, gatherings, and social events. In addition, the city's enforcing both the state of Florida and Pinellas County executive orders that have come down. Additional executive orders might be issued as they're needed to help with the prevention of gathering, maybe things that have changed or so we'll see. But we are honoring those orders that come down from the state as well as the county. It does sound like they're going to discuss another executive order from the county tomorrow. I will tell you that the county has given the cities opportunity for input. The sheriff has played a critical role in all of this as well, and an amazing leader to be a part of this team. The city's closed Cypress Forest Recreation Center, State Street Center, the Public Library, City Hall for all public visitations. The city has suspended all water shutoffs for non-payment by executive order, which is council ratified, to ensure that services are maintained for every customer, both residential and commercial. Why? It's an essential, right? So if you're in an uncertain time, you know that you could feel comfortable right now that your water's not going to get shut off. TECO has also suspended power shutoffs for non-payment till the end of the month. They're reevaluating, and I spoke with Holly from TECO, our representative, and she assures me they're still evaluating it. It would surprise me if they don't extend that, but they have not done an official announcement. So now you've got your water and your power as an essential. The city is limiting non-essential personnel interactions with the public. Certain staff are able to provide services remotely and do so from home and provide those services from home. All services are to ensure business continuity and delivery of essential public services is and will be provided. The city, however, reduced services that require direct contact, such as recreation, instruction, and library visits. So I know Al will talk more about the city internally in just a minute, but we're still open for business, our core business. We're just trying to do it more responsibly, right, and taking care of our staff. The city's partnership, in partnership with Oldsmar Cares, to provide a curbside pickup and a free delivery service to those who rely on assistance for their monthly living supplies. And this is a program that just launched yesterday, where I had asked Oldsmar Cares if they would create a program to deliver to our at-risk, and they just took the ball and ran with it, did it very quickly. Amazing people, amazing team over there. We said, tell us what you need from the city, because those who are at risk, we want them to stay safe at home while this event's going on. But if they rely on some assistance to help make ends meet with food and that type of thing, we want them to have a mechanism. And the city clerk's office stepped up. They said, we need some help with taking calls and setting it up. And the clerk's office stepped up, and they're participating, and now we have a number. All this information, by the way, you can find on the website and on our Facebook page. So thank you to the clerks and her team once again. The city's in partnership with Oldsmar Cares has opened an emergency grocery delivery service hotline. Okay, so I got ahead of myself, for people who are over age 65 and unable to stop in. All right, the city's in partnership with Feeding Tampa Bay, is working to ensure children in our community do not go hungry while they're out of school. So this started yesterday. We're providing prepackaged breakfast and lunch to students. All meals are free for children 18 and under. Of course, the child and teen must be present to receive it. We're passing it out right here in State Street. I've got to give a lot of credit to our assistant city manager, who spent a lot of time getting this partnership put together quickly. This is no small feat. Once again, this is another program that we went out and we partnered with people to get it done, who do it well, and we did it fast. And so if your kids are out of school and you do rely on schools for meals, we started the program yesterday. Was the first day. Today was the second day, and I think we did like 50 meals that went out today already.
That's great.
And so we continue to make progress on that phase one, what I would consider to be prevention, containment, and essentials. And you know, we've been assured by Walmart, Aldi, and Publix that they expect no disruption in their supply chain. And let me explain what I mean by that and what they mean by that. Their supply chain might get stressed, no doubt about it. Certainly their paper products. But they don't expect any change in supplies. I have literally spoken with Joshua Powell, who's the general manager of Walmart, multiple times over this past weekend and last week. And, you know, his comment to me, I could read you the text. The trucks keep coming, people keep taking it. But the trucks keep coming, okay? And so that's really kind of where we're at with phase one. Think about what's accomplished there. You know, your basic elements of survival, if you were struck by the worst possible scenarios, you know, you're covered, right? And so I mentioned the Walmart part because if you're an at-risk individual, Walmart does, and all of them have delivery services. I think Walmart's is like $13 a month for all the deliveries. They might be delayed. They might, you know, not have precisely what you want, but there is a mechanism there in place to order it online and get your supplies. And so, you know, the city is working diligently to make sure the fundamentals are covered. You know, look, the issues of rent and mortgages, those are real issues. And there's actions that's being taken from our elected officials to suspend foreclosures. God forbid you went that far, right? Or some of the other things as it relates to evictions. And so everyone should understand that there's a lot of thought being put into what happens when everything slows down to where we're at right now. And when we start the social distancing as a method and contain a method of mitigation of the spread of the virus. And so that kind of gives you a feel for phase one. Phase two of the plan is what we're calling sustaining resources. As the city clerk announced earlier, you all know that we've closed the library, as have all cities that I'm aware of. And we've repurposed the staff over there. And Sue Hurley's team just stepped up like crazy, and we asked them, they were looking for ways to kind of repurpose, and the city manager and the assistant city manager were both talking to him about it, and we came up with this idea to turn their area into a actual help desk. And so it's a hotline, and you hear all these programs that are being created. You hear what's going on in Washington, and I don't know if that passed today or not. I haven't seen yet, but the state came out with a program. This resource center, as I'd like to call it, it's for both businesses and citizens, right? So if you're a business, and I know the state's program starts with a $50,000 loan, it goes up to $100,000 based on some, but it is a loan. I mean, it has to be repaid, but it's interest-free for the first year. If you're a small business and you're saying, I heard about the program, I need some help. My business is at half capacity. My business was just shut down. How long do I have to sustain? If you're a little lost on where to go to find these resources, call the help desk. That's what this is for, right? If you're a citizen and you're concerned and you're looking for help, call the help desk. What they'll do over there is they are investing the time to learn about what resources are available, and they'll go as far as to help you even completing the forms that you need to get done, right? And so we've said to them, look, tell us what you need, and we'll get it for you. If we find that businesses need help with putting together financial statements, we're going to go out and recruit a bunch of bankers and some CPAs and get them to donate their time, and we'll help you get that done. So my point is, there is a resource center as these programs come out, and not only in the governmental side, but in the private side, right? Food. You need food, you know what? Call the resource center. And they're doing an amazing job over there. That just went live yesterday. And so they're digging into what programs are available, but it is a resource for all of our citizens. And we don't know how long this crisis is going to last right now, but we know that we're prepared for where we're at today, and we're prepared to get the resources. We're going to be that delivery system. Now, the city's not in a position to hand out checks. We don't do that, right? I mean, that's why our taxes are still good. But we're out there making sure that we connect everybody with what's needed. And the third phase, which is very important, and that is the recovery phase. And so I've appointed a committee, Oldsmar Recovery Task Force. The committee is a working, and they start working this week on the recovery plan. It's a collaborative effort that'll get implemented once this crisis is over. And so when the time comes, we'll be ready. The committee includes business leaders from different sectors. And so I'm going to read the committee to you because it's really an impressive group. Sandy Grimes from Stahl and Associates. That's why she was giving me a hard time if you were in the meeting earlier, because we keep asking her to do stuff. But she comes out of the insurance side, insurance industry, and the commercial insurance industry, which is really important. And she's agreed to co-chair along with Robin Reynolds, who is from Microlumen Manufacturing. She's going to co-chair. Amy from Nielsen Media Technology feels that technology area. Frank Chavez from Baystar Restaurant Group, representing the hospitality. For those of you who are familiar with Rumba's and both the Salt Rocks and Fish Camp, and I could go on and on. I think he owns quite a few restaurants, but he's stepped up to serve on our committee. Michelle Baldwin from Synovus Bank, representing the banking community. Jerry Peruzzi from the Chamber of Commerce here, our president of the chamber. Felicia Donnelly, who's our assistant city manager and has a tremendous amount of experience in some of this planning process and representing the city. And Scott Talcott, who is from the Pinellas County Economic Development Department of the county. And so it's a committee of, I think that's 8 people that we've appointed. They're going to start by working on an analysis of where we expect to be when this crisis is passed, and identify what resources we have, what we don't have, and attempt to put that together into a plan for us that'll serve as a blueprint for the city when this crisis passes. So that's where we're at. That's what everybody's been working on. I'll assure you it's been a very collaborative effort. And with that, I'm going to turn things over to our city manager to talk about what we're doing internally.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to highlight a couple of things. I submitted to the council yesterday a rather lengthy list of the things that the administration was doing. The mayor touched on a few of them. So for the public specifically, apologize if there's any perceived overlap. City buildings are operational but closed to access by the public. Any business that can be conducted remotely will still be processed. City employees have been briefed and essential functions are identified for determining who needs to be here and who can function remotely. Rotating teams have been established in each department where possible. Keep personnel on hand to a minimum. Depending on additional directives from the governor or possibly the county, we will continue to deliver essential services as required while trimming additional personnel if needed. The evaluation process of what is considered essential and critical will continue. Fire department is operating at full strength. They are not open to the public, but have all resources available for their use as required. Essential services are still in all essential services are still in full operation. Obviously, our emphasis would be on public works functions as being one of our top priorities, maintaining the water distribution and sewer treatment systems. Again, personnel is being rotated to keep manning at a minimum with necessary levels currently established by department heads. We have established a special payroll coding for those in this situation. Will evaluate its effectiveness on a week-by-week basis. Purchasing, as you might expect, is attempting to secure essential supplies for each department in case the supply chain is affected at some future point. Our continued focus will be on providing the life safety and health-related services, along with searching for medical supplies, which everybody else is also currently doing. Pinellas County Sheriff's Office provides law enforcement services for our community and has the available resources to handle anything that this emergency requires for our citizens. All of their contact information remains the same. And a special plug, well, let me get to this one first. We have also dedicated staff and our janitorial service towards extra sanitizing on facilities and public restrooms, and hopefully we're going to expand that to some of the exercise equipment. Once a day extra for our staff, twice a day from the janitorial service to try and keep things sanitized and clean for us and in some cases for the public. The last thing I wanted to touch on was the library. In addition to what the mayor and the city clerk had mentioned, our library staff has come up with a brilliant idea that I think is worthy of mention. It's a chance, my mom's a librarian for 35 years in New York, and she would be turning over in her grave, God bless her, because of what we do with online resources. The library staff has come up with a way to get a virtual library card so that anybody who wants one could actually tap all of our online virtual resources at the library without physically having a card. And trust me, I've taken the training. I make Sue do the training over and over for our employees, because if you had any clue of all the things you could get at simply through the databases that are provided by the library, it would blow you away. So Sue came up with this idea. It's coordination with the PPLC. It's a great one. You don't have to have a library card. You can follow the same information at oldsmarlibrary.org, or that phone number, 813-749-1181, to ask questions about how to get that application process started. If this process emergency goes for a long period of time, you will never regret this, because there's an endless amount of resources you could tap into that could be news, could be entertainment, could be just, I can't count the number of things. So I wanted to mention that.